I didn't even realize how much negative I was telling myself and that I was putting on myself. And I was taking medication for anxiety, and I took it for 18, 19 years.
Hey everyone, today I am here with a very special guest, one of my clients, Clausi, who has generously offered to do an interview with me to talk about his experience going through the coaching program so that any men who are going through something or want to find another man who has had relatable experiences, want to hear another man's perspective as they're going through my one-on-one coaching program. Chris is here to offer some perspective. So thank you so much for being here today, Chris. I'm so excited to see you. It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, it has. It has. And thanks again for asking me.
The most important question is, did it work for you? Like, tell us about your journey from, like, if you can, beginning to middle to end, like how you felt, what you really experienced during this time. All honesty.
Yeah, absolutely. And so part of the reason why I wanted to do this and why I put it out there is because it's been so rewarding for me. The journey, I think one of the biggest things that I looked at with this was that if I trusted you and I believed in what you were saying, I was going to just go 100% on whatever you asked and challenged me to do. And you were really good about that from day one. You'd say, okay, what are our goals? What are we going to work on this week specifically? And I knew each week I was like, all right, Chris, this is accountability as well, and, I hate to disappoint people. So I was really just trusting everything that you were saying and doing. And so from the very first time that we connected, I felt like we are making progress. And I almost immediately felt a sense of relief. Like, I'm like, you know what, this is going to get me to a better place. And that was really, really comforting. And as we went on, things started getting better. I started feeling physically and mentally better. I was doing things that you were, sharing with me and challenging me to do, from stretching to, not just necessarily working out, but taking time to be present with myself and to be positive with the things that I was telling myself, which I didn't even realize how much negative I was telling myself and that I was putting on myself. Doing that exercise initially early on was just like, hey, look, just listen to what you're telling yourself each and every day, or something that we did like that. I remember it a certain way. You're probably like, no, it was this way. But I remember that taking that time and just kind of going, wow, you're really just beating the crap out of yourself. Say some positive things. And you were even challenging me to, like, literally look in the mirror and say something positive, which I was totally wigged out by that. I was like, no way am I looking in the mirror and going to say something positive about myself. But I trusted everything you said, and I was like, all right, I'm going to do whatever she says. And so I did. And it worked. Just like everything you've said, we joke about that occasionally, that, like, I told you, and you were right about that as well. So anyway, I don't know how transparent I want to be on a podcast, but, part of the struggles that I've had have just been really, really alleviated by the stuff that we've worked on, the challenges that I've had with just feeling, anxious about things. And from times when I was in law enforcement, I was still in law enforcement, I was taking medication for anxiety, and it helped. It was great. And I took it for, I don't know, 18, 19 years that I had been taking it. I remember saying something to you. I was like, hey, this is just something that I'm just going to have to be on for the rest of my life. I've just come to that realization that it's just part of who I'm going to have to be. It didn't really affect me in a negative way. And I thought it made me feel better. So, and it did at the time, 16, 18 years ago. But as I started getting better and started feeling more confident in who I was, I started kind of weaning myself off of it, working with my doctor, and, reduced the medication by more than half, and I'm still, my goal is to eventually be off of it completely, if that's the case, and I know that there's, I'm not going to flatter myself and say, oh, there's tons of people watching this, but if there are people watching it that are taking medication for that, I don't know how it affects different people. I don't know how it works for them, but I know for me, it's a process that I'm feeling really confident about. I'm working through it. I'm feeling strong, and where we go, I don't know, but right now I'm 50% less than I was taking, and I feel great. So that's, that's part of the physical part as well, Elise. And then professionally, like, I am doing so many things now. Like, I had done speaking in the past. I had done work traveling around and doing faculty work and consulting and things like that, sporadically. Now I'm looking at taking that business, much larger scale, doing that for my career. And it's going great. I'm focused. I'm narrowed in on it. Like people say, I'm laser focused, and I really am. I just feel like I'm a lot more in control of my life than my life was in control of me before. So that's a big nutshell, but there's a lot to put in this nut of a head. So, yeah.